Come on, buddy. Sit. Yes. Hey, guys. Anna here with Canine Co-Pilots with our girl, Ziva. Today is day 10 of her training program, 10-ish, I think. And I'm here with your next update video, and also to talk a little bit about our leash as a training tool. That's our topic of the video today. Through the weekend while I was away, Laura and Blair and Brian have done a really good job of kind of continuing what I worked on last week and started showing her a little bit more duration and more reliability to the different commands we taught her, and just built on those things. And during that time, they also started introducing a more formal heel command, or a little more formal, like, stay with me on the leash expectation. And before we get too deep into that, I want to talk today about sit. How to use your leash as a tool for training and not just a tether. In my opinion, I think the leash is really one of the most misused and misunderstood tools in dog training, which is really funny because it's the most commonly used. I think between food and a leash, they're the most commonly used and the most commonly misused. So I want to talk today about how to use your leash the right way, literally, okay? There's a lot of pieces to that, and there's not like a perfect list or a perfect step-by-step how to use it, but I want to show you in action what I'm talking about after we discuss it here for a second. So one of the first rules, I guess I could say, is I will never allow my dog to maintain tightness on a leash at any time without feedback. I will also, in that same vein, I will never allow my dog to drag me anywhere on a tight leash. A tight leash will get my dog nothing, okay? And I'm gonna show you how to mitigate that as we move through this training session. And what that means is, and what I'm talking about is, if my dog goes to pull away from me or drag me somewhere or pull and stand at the end of my line, I'm either gonna dump them more line to release the tension, or I'm gonna give them a quick little pop, good girl, like that, to redirect their attention back to me. And it was actually appropriate in this moment too, because she was starting to chew on the end of the leash. These little leash bumps and leash feedbacks are gonna be very, very important for this dog especially. Ziva is a really good dog. She's a smart dog, but she's busy. And she's constantly looking for ways to entertain herself. And without a little bit of help with our tools, like our leash or our e-collar later or our voice, it's not unlikely that she's gonna make the wrong decision simply because she's trying to find something to do. So like right here, sit. Good girl. I told her to sit. I gave her the opportunity to do so. And now because I've said sit, sit. Yes. Now the only thing she needs to do is sit. Good sit. So I'm going to pay her for that. Good girl. And when she laid down, if you saw, I gave her a couple little tugs on my leash. Like, no, more like a bother. And in that moment, sit. Sit. Good. In that moment, it's more of a pester. She's not being bad, but she's not doing what I say. Sit. Good girl. And it's really important to not lose your patience, in this moment, because losing your patience just makes her frustrated too. If you can't be in control of your emotions, neither can she. So let's give her an opportunity again to show me that she learned from that feedback. Ziva, sit. Good girl. So she's sitting, and what I expect is that she maintains that sit until I release her. So let's give her a second. Good sit. Okay, nice, good job. And I'm gonna pet her up for that. That's really nice, good girl. And that's just one example right there of, that wasn't my example as we were talking about not letting her drag us, but that was an example of how we can use our leash as a tool, and we use this sit as an example of this. You ready, girlfriend? Let's go. So as we're walking, Ziva's a horrible walker, right? She would drag us everywhere, and one of the things that would happen is our leash would get tight, and then we're just at the mercy of her. But that's not how this is gonna work anymore. My hand is right here. It's at about the 3-foot mark or so. It's not dragging on the ground. It's just relaxed. You can see this J shape from the dog to my side, and she's expected to stay in what I call the green zone. Jeffrey, my husband Jeffrey, actually talks about this perfect target, where right here is the green zone, out a little further is yellow, and further away is red. And essentially what he's talking about is, in this area right here, all good things happen. The leash is loose, everything's happy, there's no pressure, there's no corrections, but right here, She's getting a little excited. I say, no. And I'm able to use my leash right there to give her some feedback. And if you see, she's like, okay, never mind, we'll just walk. Good, Good girl. Now, if she were to try to drag me somewhere, so let's say she got excited, and I'm going to try to kind of bait her here and throw it. Good girl. Yeah, nice. This way. Good girl. Like right there, I understand I threw the food, but you can't hold that leash tight. So right here, she sees it. Good girl. I gave her every opportunity. I didn't drag her there, but because the last time she tried to pull me, she got that little feedback and she realized she needed to come with me. Good girl. Right here, it's a little tight for me. Yes, good girl. And when she comes back to me, I'm going to feed her out of my hand, right? So comparatively speaking, pulling, sit, is not that fun, right? If I stay with Anna, it's really fun. If I pull away, she's not going to let me go there anyway, so I have to stay with her. And if you notice, I never drug her back. I never hauled her back. This way, baby. This way. Good girl. It's not a big physical move. It's simply a little tug. Good. Redirect her to me, and I'm going to pay her for that. Super. And really, when you're using your leash in this way, it gives you the ability to show the dog the value of the release. So if you do this, there's consequences. Consequences. If you do these things consistently, I will consistently give you this kind of feedback. When you return to me, all things are good. Yes, I'll pay that for standing here quietly and being nice. Good girl. Okay, buddy. Let's work the place. Ziva. Good girl. You ready? Go place. Nice. So even in this way, when she's on the place bed, she knows she's supposed to stay there until I release her. So she stays there all on her own. Good for her. And actually, she's doing a great job. So I'm going to pay her. Yes, good place. But if she comes off of there on her own without me telling her to, I'm going to show you how I would use my leash to give her some feedback there and tell her she needs to go back. If she'll come off. Oh, so she came off? Go place. Good girl. Nice. Okay. Good girl. So since I had to help her back on, I'm going to release her with no cookies. Go place. Yes, good girl. And I'm going to let her show me that she understood the assignment, that she understood the feedback. I'm going to give her that opportunity to show me again. Good job, buddy. Okay. Okay. You can come off. Come on. Good job. Good job, my girl. Good job. Good, good, good. Nice. Super, guys. Well, that's going really well. I think all those things are really starting to stack on top of each other. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Otherwise, we're going to keep going here, work a little longer, and then put her up for a minute. This way. Good girl. Nice. Right there, just another quick example. She found that food that time. Good job. But I hope that makes sense. That's kind of a hard thing to teach on video, but I hope you can kind of see where it's like, okay, dude, I'm not mad at you. It's not the end of the world, but there is a right way to show her with the leash that I need a different behavior. And when I make those little tugs on her leash, she's understanding that she needs to change her behavior, try a different one to get her reward or get her praise. So that was really the point of that whole video. Hope that makes sense. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, we'll talk soon. Thanks so much. Okay, buddy.